Giving you a live look today at that home where the victim was killed, and you can see just a charred roof and not much still standing there on the left side. Aiken County Dispatch says the call came in at 3:16 this morning, and neighbors tell us when they saw those flames, they started banging on the windows to try to get the woman and her daughter out of the home, but only the daughter was able to make it out alive.
Her daughter kept saying, "My mama's in there, my mama's in there."
The sheriff's office says the SLED arson team has been called in to help, not because they suspect arson, but to help since it's such a small fire department in Aiken County to investigate such a big fire.
Right now, as we understand, the daughter is still in a hospital. We're told she is stable. Her family was out there for a good part of this day. Our Kelly Wiley was there as well, and several family members were there as neighbors were there too. And they say, Kelly, that it just took too long for those volunteer firefighters to get out there to start helping.
Yeah, they were very concerned. Our photographer was actually rolling his camera when fire trucks arrived a little less than 14 minutes after the first 911 call. While crews were en route, family, neighbors, and deputies tried to save the mother inside. The fire was big enough to see and hear. Neighbors who woke up to orange flames and smoke were listening, trying to help, while family was pushing to get to the mother they knew was inside. Neighbors say her daughter managed to crawl out, thinking her mother was behind her.
Her daughter kept saying, "My mama's in there, my mama's in there." I was praying that she was going to get out, or coming out, and say, "I'm okay." But evidently that didn't happen.
Neighbors and family believe she might have come out if fire crews got there quicker.
They're less than 5 minutes away. They may have been able to save that lady's life.
Aiken County Dispatch got the first of many frantic calls to 911 at 3:16 in the morning.
Aiken District 7, Belvedere Fire Department.
1 minute later, the call was shipped to the Belvedere Fire Department. A little more than 12 minutes later, and fire trucks were turning onto the street, rushing into the burning home.
Aiken 72 is on the scene, setting up command. Aiken's going to be working fire full involved.
Assistant Fire Chief with Belvedere Fire Department says their team is entirely made up of volunteers who get the call to respond from work or home.
In the evening time and at night, there's not necessarily somebody that sits at that station and waits for the next pending call to come through.
Todd says at night the fire station is empty. Crews come from where they are to the station and then to the fire.
Kelly, it sounds like that's just the nature of the business when you're dealing with a volunteer fire department. It takes them a while just to get to the station, to get the truck, to get going.
Right, and that's exactly it. And they try their best. They're going from their home, from wherever they are, their work, to the station, and then they go to the fire. I did talk to some of the family members who didn't want to go on camera. The father of the woman who made it out, and ex-husband of the woman who they believe has died in this fire. He says that when the daughter woke up, she saw a wall of fire and tried to get to her mom.
It was intense. Just you could tell that from our video.
Yeah, just such a sad story all around. And a lot of members of our team, Kelly included, have talked to the family, and we know the victim's name, but the coroner hasn't released it yet. So we're just holding off to make sure all the family members have been notified. We'd hate for them to find out this way.
Once we have something, we'll be sure to pass that along.
Now for a check-in with Kevin for a first look at your forecast.